The pressure to be more conscious, the pressure to wake up. It seems like if we don't raise our consciousness by, let me see, by September 25th, 2025, then we're just going to be doomed for life. Hate to break it to you, but I think that higher consciousness individuals wouldn't inflict fear like that. And I feel like we see this a lot out in society where a lot of people are talking about this consciousness split, raising your vibration, raising your consciousness, and there being this division between these two sides. It's like Republicans and Democrats, 3D, 5D, right? Enlightened, non-enlightened. I hate to break it to you, but this is still coming from a place of not a high level of consciousness, if you're still thinking in terms of separation. You know, consciousness, raising your own consciousness, I'm going to say this word a lot because I can't pronounce it well, so it's just going to turn up in this video, is a very personal thing. And a lot of times raising it or elevating it or evolving it is a very subtle thing, very subtle signs to it, very personal thing, like I said. So, when people are boasting about how enlightened they are or how conscious they are, how, awake they are in life and demeaning other people who are not, they're forgetting the point that everybody is in their own, on their own journey, on their own path in this lifetime. So you can't condemn people for, it's almost like trying to force your fate upon other people, or that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, it's a very personal thing. It's a very quiet thing at times. It's a very subtle thing. So in this video, I'm going to get into 6, maybe more subtle signs that you are probably shifting your own personal consciousness. Sit tight. Number 1 sign, sensitivities to people, to places, to things, maybe pollution, noise around you. You find that maybe you want to be out in nature more or just sit in an open field. Maybe you're feeling like a little antisocial. Oh, why can't I be, have fun in these big groups and stuff? You're feeling a little overwhelmed where you need to set more boundaries. Okay, you need to create more space between you and the things outside of you. This could be a subtle sign that you are going through some kind of transformation within yourself in a state of consciousness where you just want to be more, okay? Instead of all the distractions and stimulation that we have, this could be a very subtle sign at times. Number 2, you're losing interest in not only material stuff, like spending money, but you're losing interest in more like popular trends or maybe what's going viral, or for example, the hot two girl, whatever that thing is. It doesn't interest you. You're just like, why do people find this funny? You want some more substance. So you're losing interest in things that do not have substance to you. And maybe that's also releasing attachments to material things. There's things that they're things, right? Is there depth to them? They're just stuff, right? At the end of the day, they're always going to be just stuff. Okay, they don't take the place of, say, a human life or something more valuable, or relationships or communication with somebody, or love, something like that. So you may find that stuff that's popular or trendy, you just can't resonate with it anymore. Or gossiping, stuff like that just doesn't appeal to you anymore. Number 3 sign, observation. It's like you're looking from the outside in, Or pretend you're behind like a piece of glass and nobody can see you and you're just observing the world around you, the people around you, people maybe fighting with each other, shouting. You're really observing the different relationships that people have, and you can see it from a larger venue per se of just this species and how we're interacting with one another, rather than being so invested in like the gossip and the drama and like one piece of it. You're on the outside looking in, or you're above looking down. This is a subtle sign where maybe you have noticed that you're observing, but you're not engaging. This can be a subtle sign that you are elevating yourself, that you are shifting in some capacity, because you're no longer attached or invested in those little minute relationship problems per se, but you're observing without engaging. Number 4, flow. So if you think of your life like a puzzle, where you spent many years of your life trying to fit puzzle pieces in the wrong spot. Did you ever do a puzzle and you're like, ooh, I think this piece might fit, and it doesn't actually fit, and you're kind of like forcing it in to see if it'll fit. That's kind of like what we do in life many times, right? But as you're shifting, you may notice a subtle sign that you don't do that anymore. You're more accepting of what life is handing you. Which goes along with flow versus force, right? Power versus force. Forcing things, forcing that puzzle piece that's not meant for you. It's not aligned to your life. Versus waiting for that perfect piece that just fits one day. It just fits. You have clarity. It's like an aha moment, but you're not forcing along the way and really trying to do things that are completely out of alignment. You realize that, okay, maybe this requires some patience. Maybe I need to be patient with myself. Maybe I need to just accept that the timing in life is there for me, and I'm not gonna try and just like be impatient and try to like pummel my way through life, but just go along with it. Okay, everything I'm handed is for some sort of reason. So we always look at the bigger picture, and this can be a subtle sign that something within you is in fact shifting. Number 5, synchronicities. Everybody likes synchronicities, right? But the power of symbolism is huge when it comes to something like consciousness. If we are shifting in some capacity, we look at certain things as having more meaning than just in a literal sense. For example, a feather suddenly has more profound meaning for us. Not because, per se, the gods handed us a feather and this is like our prophecy. What it means is that we take something in our natural world and now we can use it to our advantage in that we take this feather, for example, and suddenly this feather is giving us insight into our subconscious or intuitive ability. We have this ability to connect in some sort of way. So if we're from a lower state of consciousness, we're going to be like, ooh, a feather. People say that this means this, blah, blah, blah. Whereas more elevated consciousness, we're going to say, ooh, a feather. What does this mean to me? This has some kind of emotion or a profound effect for me. So that's the difference, okay, between, ooh, a feather, according to this YouTube video, it means such and such. It's okay to, look things up for information, for guidance. But the other aspect is looking at something and instead of right away going on Google and what does it mean? Looking at this item that caught our eye for some reason, or a synchronicity that caught our eye, and really delving into our own intuition, okay? Our own Google, right? Our own search. Like, why is this giving me some kind of meaning? Is it telling me something? Is my subconscious telling me something? I'm connected in some way. So that's the difference, maybe a more subtle difference between these two things. Number 6 sign, release. So it kind of feels like you feel slightly out of place, yet you also feel at home. It's like you have one foot in the past and then one foot in the here and now, and it's kind of like you're going through this process of releasing old stuff, maybe toxic habits or old conditioning and programs, and it can be hard. So it's not just like boom, we wake up and we're just like elevated, I'm enlightened, blah, blah, blah. A lot of times it's just very slow progression that we don't even notice it's happening. And I would say the biggest thing in something like an elevated form of consciousness is, because really consciousness is our perspective on the world and how we're living in the world, right? How we view everything, is viewing our past or things that happened to us in the past in a different light, in a different way, pulling light out of dark, maybe trauma or something we've been through. Instead of attaching and just staying in the trauma or staying in this place of where we just want to get even with people and seeking revenge and all these kind of lower states and being angry for the rest of our lives over something that happened to us maybe 5 years ago, per se. Everybody's different. But taking that experience, looking back on it and pulling something out of it, that is true evolution. At least to me, that's what I find, is that when we can, something that happened to us, we look at it with new eyes almost. Like we have different glasses on. It doesn't hit us the same because we've evolved from it. We've grown to a certain degree, where we've pulled some kind of wisdom out of it. So those are just some subtle signs that you may experience as you're going through this state of, I don't know, waking up or whatever people want to call it, consciousness, but basically a different level of living. One that maybe you're not used to, maybe you lived your life very differently in the past, and now suddenly you see things with more clarity. So I hope this video is helpful. Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe. I put out new videos every single week for you on all kinds of cool topics. So thank you for watching, truly appreciate it, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.